In session 2, we're going to learn about the second thing that you need to build a profitable business starting from scratch. And that second thing is the right niche. In this session, we're going to learn how to target a niche that has a high probability of working and test out that niche using a series of questions and a method of talking to our prospective customers so we prevent ourselves from wasting time, effort, energy, and money, and we have the highest likelihood of success. So let's start with some very important niche mindsets. Niche mindset number 1. Niches aren't chosen, and they're not what you want them to be. Now, many people, they get into business and they say, well, my niche is going to be people that have this particular problem. And I know that we've got a challenge right there, because a niche isn't something that you choose, and your niche isn't something that you want it to be. Your niche is about what your customers are going through. Your niche is about the obstacles, the challenges, and so forth that your customers have, and the results and the outcomes that you provide for them. And niches are something that are discovered. Okay? They're not something that are chosen. Okay? So niches aren't chosen, and they're not what you want them to be. Niche mindset number 2, niches are needs. So instead of thinking of your niche as your product or as your customer, think of your niche as the need that your customer has. Whenever I'm starting out a business or launching a product, the questions that I ask myself are, what's motivating my customer? Okay, so what are their drivers? And I want to know what their fears are. I want to know what their frustrations are. I want to know what their wants are. I want to know what their aspirations are. And I want to know specifically. If I'm going to create a product on how to lose weight, for example, let's say I'm going to create a training on how to lose weight. I don't just say, well, my customer needs to lose weight. I want to know specifically what my customer fears and specifically what it is that they want. And I want to know in their words, because if I understand exactly what they want, I understand exactly who they are and exactly how much weight they want to lose, where they want to lose it, why they want to lose it, I'm going to have a much higher probability of success. So niches are needs. And the objective here, when you're launching a business and creating a new product and doing marketing, is to identify an unmet need. It's not to create a product and try to get people to buy it. It's not to copy what everyone else is doing. It's not to find a market. It's to find an unmet need inside of a group of people that you can meet by creating products and services that deliver the result that they want. And when you take this mindset that a niche is a need, it changes your thinking. It gets you started getting outside of yourself, gets you started letting go of this idea that niches are chosen and they're what you want them to be, and it gets you asking, who's my customer and what are they going through? And what's driving them to look for solutions, look for results, to get out there and try to solve problems? In other words, what's really motivating them? And this leads to you asking them and to imagining being them and to listening really carefully, because they're not going to buy what you're selling. They're going to buy the solution to their problem. They're going to buy the outcome that they want. They're going to buy the relief from pain. They're going to buy the result that they're looking for. And it just so happens that your product or service meets that need. And in almost every case whether it's a new business owner or an experienced business owner, when we've dug into who their customers are and what they need, we've discovered that the customer's needs are different from what we think they are. They're different from what they think they are. Niche mindset number 3. Niches are discovered and developed. Niches are discovered and developed. So niches aren't chosen or targeted in the sense that most people mean them. Niches are discovered. And then once they're discovered, they're developed. You discover a niche by finding an unmet need. You develop a niche by going deeper and getting more focused and isolating that need. So let me give you an example of how I discovered a series of niches and how I then developed them and did very well at launching businesses and products. My first online business was an information business selling a book of dating advice called Double Your Dating. Well, as that business grew, we then started selling other products, and we had other teachers come on and start teaching other aspects of dating and relationship advice. Did very well. Well, over several years, a lot of people asked me, how did you do that? And so I showed several other people how to build an online information business. And I had several of them go on to make hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. And I watched as this methodology that I had kind of created really helped others become successful. Well, after several years, I decided I should create a training program just teaching people how I built my business. So I said, all right, I'm going to switch paths completely. I launched a new company, and I created a new training called Altitude. Now, this was a very high-end live seminar training. Okay, I launched this business the opposite way that I launched the first one. The first one I launched with a low-end entry-level product that cost $30 or $40. This next business I launched with the highest end training I could come up with, and it was $10,000. And the promise was, I'll teach you how to take your business that's already started and show you what I've done to grow my business to the $10 million level and beyond. Now, it was a very successful program. We had people fly in from 26 different countries to attend. We did it at a fancy hotel. During the event, I asked the audience, I said, how many folks here have information-related businesses? And about half the people in the audience raised their hand. Now, keep in mind, I had marketed this on how to grow any business that's already started to the $10 million a year level. I didn't think that people would be interested in just learning about information from me, even though that was the business I was in, and it just didn't strike me. I thought people want to learn business. So it hit me, I need to get out there and create something that just teaches how to build an information business online. So a few months later, it was probably 5 or 6 months later, I launched my Guru Mastermind program, which was a monthly training program that was about $500 to $1,000 a month to be part of, where I taught everything that I had learned about how to build a successful information marketing business online. Now, in my original Altitude launch, okay, that was about $1 million launch or so, okay, the first one. And most people say, well, that's not bad, Evan, nothing to complain about. Okay, but the very first one, the first live program, about $1 million launch. Well, my Guru Mastermind launch was a multi-million-dollar launch. As I recall, it was over a $3 million launch, okay, in front-end sales. What happened? Well, I discovered a niche called people who want to learn how to grow their business. And then within that niche, I realized half the people want to learn about information. So I narrowed, or I developed my niche. And I created a completely new business and product called the Guru Mastermind, and I taught people how to do information businesses. While I was launching that business, I did a series of surveys and kind of inquiries with our customers, and I said, well, what do you want to learn about how to grow an information business? What's your biggest challenge, your frustration, your want, your need? And the number one answer that came back was, I want to learn about how to manage my time and become more productive. Now that was a real surprise, because I wasn't asking about time and productivity. I was asking about what you want to learn inside of your information business. But that was the most common answer that I got. So what I did is I created a bonus training program that went along with my Guru Mastermind on just time management and productivity. And I created a 13-week course. And people that were in the Guru Mastermind and people that go through it told me, and still tell me, that that time management stuff was some of the most valuable training that I got. So I took that program and I created a separate product, and I launched just a program on time management and productivity called Wake Up Productive. Okay, so you see a series here of niches that were discovered and then developed. I first started out teaching business. While I was teaching business, I realized people wanted to learn specifically information business. So I launched a separate set of trainings on just information business, and we did very, very well, even better with those. While I was doing that, I discovered a little sub-niche or a sub-need called time management and productivity. So I created a training program just for that. We launched it separately. And by the way, we've now sold over $1 million worth of the Wake Up Productive training program. And we've never really seriously marketed that. We've done a couple of little internal launches, and we did one kind of low-key public launch, but we haven't really even done much with that program yet. So this is an example of how niches are discovered and developed. And I recommend that you go out and try to discover your niche. Don't target it or choose it. And the way you discover it is by asking a series of questions. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to teach you 3 questions that I call my niche test. Okay, the 3-question niche test. And you're going to learn about how I think about targeting or choosing a niche, which really is about discovering the niche and basing it on a need. And then we're going to do an exercise and learn a little bit about how to go out and find a very high probability niche to build a business in. Niche question number 1. Is my prospective customer motivated by pain and urgency or irrational passion? Is my prospective customer motivated by pain and urgency or irrational passion? In other words, is my prospective customer experiencing a strong emotion? Are they emotionally driven right now? And this is important because we're not just looking for people who we can talk into buying our stuff. We're looking for people who are already motivated. They're already experiencing pain and urgency or irrational passion. Why? Because if they're not already motivated, if they're not already experiencing pain and urgency or irrational passion, then I'm going to need to motivate them. And trying to motivate people to buy is tough business. Okay? So number 1, is my prospective customer motivated by pain and urgency or irrational passion? Are they already motivated? If they're not already motivated, then it's probably not a good niche to pursue. Niche question number 2. Is my prospective customer proactively looking for solutions? Okay, so not only are they motivated emotionally, okay, irrationally, do they have pain and urgency or irrational passion triggered inside of them, but also are they proactively looking for solutions? Have they gotten up off their lazy butt and are they out seeking solutions? Why do we need them to be proactively looking for a solution right now? Because if they're not, again, we have to motivate them to buy what we're selling. And trying to talk people into wanting what you're selling is a very tough business. It's not the business that you want to be in. And it's not the kind of business that I and others who are very successful in business, those aren't the niches that we target. Okay? They're not the niches that we pursue. This is one of the reasons why I like search marketing and online search engine marketing so well. It's one of the reasons why I like to test things out using search marketing, because by definition, the customer is searching for a solution. People are going to the search engine and they're typing in words because they have a need. So they're already looking. One of the things that I like to say is look for customers who are looking for you. Don't look for customers that you have to talk into wanting what you're selling. Look for customers who are looking for you. They're already looking for you. Now, these two questions, if you get a yes to both of them and you narrow and you really refine your niche to a need where it's an emotional need and they're looking for solutions, this eliminates about 95 or 99% of all possible niches. But it focuses you on the ones that are high probability. A high probability. And then when you add this third question, you make it so that your niche has the highest likelihood of being a winner. Niche question number 3. Does my prospective customer have few or no perceived options? Few or no perceived options. You see, if your customer has lots of perceived options, then you're playing the competition game. Then you're competing on price, or you're trying to say, my thing is better than their thing. And you don't want to compete. You don't want to have your option be one of 50 options that your customer is considering. You want your option to be the only option, or one of only a couple, so that you can clearly differentiate it and you can rationalize charging a high price and making profit on it. And this question goes nicely with the other two. Now you're looking for a prospective customer that's motivated, okay, so they're emotionally triggered to move away from a problem or toward an outcome that they want. They're proactively looking for solutions. Okay, they're out looking for solutions, and they have few or no perceived options. Few or no perceived options. Now, I walked you through a little sequence of how I launched a series of new trainings. First, I launched my altitude training, then I launched my Guru Mastermind training, and then I created my Wake Up Productive training. And what I did is I looked out there and I realized, wow, look at this. I was trying to grow my business, and I couldn't find the information to grow my business from kind of the $1 million level to the $10 million a year level. There weren't any good trainings or books available. And I read a lot of books, and I go to a lot of trainings. So I knew that this was something that wasn't available. And I knew, because a lot of people had asked me to show them how to start a business and build a business, that this was a need in the marketplace. And then next, when I launched my Guru Mastermind training, I knew that people were motivated to learn this because they had paid $10,000 to come to a program that wasn't exactly on what they wanted to learn about. Okay? They wanted to learn more about information business specifically, and I knew that they were looking for solutions. And then I looked around and I realized, there isn't anyone that's teaching this particular topic, teaching kind of a really good in-depth, high-end training, so I launched that one. And then same thing for Wake Up Productive. I looked around and realized, look at this. There isn't an immersive, in-depth online time management and productivity training, a really, really good one. So I'll create it, and I'll take over the market. I'll literally create the market. Okay, so I basically got 3 yeses when I was launching these businesses. Now, when I create products, which we'll talk about in the next section of this program, when I create products, in the back of my mind, I'm always asking these 3 questions as well, because I think of a product as being a niche in and of itself. Each product is designed to meet a specific need in and of itself. And think about those 3 programs that I did that are very different. Each one met specific needs, but each one met different needs of different people. Very specific. So niches are needs, and products are actually niches in and of themselves. And when you really get good at this, you realize that narrowing your niche is better than widening your niche. Most people tend to go after big, wide, fat niches where there's lots of people. And what I tend to do is start with a big niche where there are a lot of customers, and then carve off a small chunk of it where there's a group of people that have a need, they're looking for solutions, but they don't have that particular thing that they want available. So I can make it for them. Okay? I can give it to them. And now I want to talk to you about what we might call niche intelligence. Validate your niche before you spend money by talking to prospects. Okay, the big secret about targeting a niche, which is really not a secret at all, is that if you go out and talk to people, if you actually interact with them live and you talk to them every day, they'll tell you everything you need to know so that you can launch a good product or service that has a high probability of working because it's meeting a need, it's fulfilling a need, it's something that people already want to buy. So I mentioned earlier this program is really about getting into action and taking action. The action to take if you'd like to target a niche successfully and have it be a very, very high probability of working is to start talking to a minimum of one prospective customer every single day live. Interact with them live, either in person, on Skype, over the telephone, and ask them what they want. Ask them what their biggest problems and frustrations are. Ask them what their biggest wants and aspirations are. Learn about how they're thinking. Ask them what they're doing to solve their problems. Ask them what they've tried that didn't work. Ask them what they think the solution is. Get inside of their head and figure out what they've got going on. In other words, get some intelligence about the need of your customer. And as we've learned, niches are needs, so you're getting intelligence on your niche. And you're validating it. You're getting to pre-test without spending money. You're just investing your time. If it doesn't work out, hey, you move on to the next thing. You didn't borrow a bunch of money or waste a bunch of money that now you can't use somewhere else. So the most important thing that you can do to validate your niche is to get out and talk to prospects. You might ask, where do I do that? Well, the internet makes it easy. You can go and find chat groups. You can start social media groups. You can go to forums. You can go out and meet people who have the need that you're considering filling, and you can say to them, hey, can I ask you a few questions about your need? Can I get on the phone with you? I'd really like to understand more about what you need because I think I can help you solve your problem. And then ask them, what's your big challenge or frustration? What do you want the outcome to look like? What's perfect for you? What have you tried? What do you think the solution is? What are you looking for? Spend 15 or 20 minutes talking to, ideally 2 or 3 potential prospective customers every single day. And after you've done this for several weeks, your mind will come online and you'll start to see all of the patterns and you'll start to have the answers. And then you'll know whether or not these people are emotionally motivated. You'll know if they're proactively looking for solutions, and you'll know if they perceive that they have options. And you'll be able to carefully design a product or service or business that meets those needs and gets the job done and offers something that people want to buy. So let's do an exercise. Targeting your business niche. So you should be looking at an exercise that looks something like this, the 3-question niche test. Before you spend your hard-earned money starting a business that has a small chance of working, test your niche using these 3 time-tested questions. If you get 3 yes answers, then your niche is one that should be tested in the real world. So first, is my prospective customer experiencing pain plus urgency or irrational passion? Second, Is my prospective customer proactively looking for a solution to their problem or desire? And third, does my prospective customer have few or no perceived options to solve their problem or deliver their result? What I'd like you to do right now is take your business idea or your product or service idea and run it through these 3 questions. Answer them yes or no. And just kind of write it up in maybe the upper right corner of the box. Don't fill the whole box in. Just write yes or no or a little Y or an N. Next, what I'd like you to do is use these questions to shape the idea that you have for a product or a service. To shape the idea. So, if, for instance, you were thinking of starting up a website that sells golf clubs online, and you said, okay, so my prospective customer, pain and urgency or rational passion. Yeah, you know what? They're irrationally passionate. Okay, good. So that's a yes. My prospective customer proactively looking for a solution. Yeah, a lot of people search for golf. Yes. Does my prospective customer have few or no perceived options? Uh-oh, wait a minute. Actually, there are a lot of websites that sell golf clubs. Okay, so now you're going to use this question to shape your business idea, to shape your product idea. So here what you would do is go, well, how could I make it so that the things that I sell on my site to this need, my customers have few or no perceived options? So you might take your experience in the area or start doing research, and you might come up with, for instance, oh, look at this. A lot of websites sell golf clubs, but not many websites sell custom golf clubs that are made specifically for you. Now, I'm not a golfer. I don't know this. I'm making this up as I say it, but you might discover that very few websites sell custom golf clubs. And as you start talking to your customers, you realize the few websites that are out there, most people can't find them or don't know about them. And now you'll be able to create a website that sells custom golf clubs that gets 3 yeses, and you'll go out and test it. Now, it's up to you to use this 3-question niche test whenever you find a good prospective niche, whenever you find an area in the world where there's a need. Okay? So, 3-question niche test. What I'd like you to do right now is do this exercise, take your business idea, and write yes or no in the corner, and then use these questions to shape your business idea. We're just getting some practice here. Okay? We're just getting some practice, the first scratch at the surface to change our thinking and start thinking in terms of customer needs, not in just selling stuff. So do the 3-question niche test exercise now, and I'll see you in the next session.